how to be taking shelter of the Lord when we're in this struggle for existence within this world, either economically or socially, or just in terms of keeping body and soul together. It's a struggle. How to somehow or other take shelter of the Lord in that situation. To be a brahmachari in the ashram, it seems like it's very direct and clear how to take shelter of the Lord. And everything they're doing is taking shelter of the Lord. But it's not that easy. Why so few people survive in the brahmachari ashram? Hare Krishna. It's a battle there too. It's a battle everywhere. That is why it is very important, the basic principles of bhakti, to associate with devotees who uplift our hearts, who keep our intelligence properly focused. Because within this world, whatever we're doing, this is a great danger. That the circumstances both around us and within us distract our attention away from the focus of our real purpose of life. But if we regularly have association of people who are fixed or struggling to keep that focus, then our intelligence is stable and it will proceed. No matter what happens, if we have proper association, we won't lose sight of the goal, nor will we lose the way in which we can achieve the goal. And through that association, we understand the value of our spiritual practices, or sadhana. It keeps our consciousness anchored at the lotus feet of the Lord. If you're in a boat in this ocean of material existence, any wave can just catapult you in a direction according to its own whim. And then the next wave pushes you in another direction, and the next wave pushes you in another direction. The mind is full of those waves. The world around us and influences are full of those waves, pushing us in one direction and another direction and then another direction. But if we have strong spiritual practice and the association of good influences in our life, it keeps us fixed. No matter how many waves may push us, we remain focused. In the integrity of our life, the integrity of our actions, the integrity of our thoughts, cannot pull us away from that. Agitations, difficulties, tragedies, traumas, temptations, they will come and they will go in this world. But how is it affecting our purpose in life and the integrity of how we live? We need that anchor to keep us stable. And Rupa Goswami explains the 5 most powerful aspects of our spiritual practice. One is the association of saintly people. Another is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, the Holy Scriptures, regularly. Nasta Prayesh Bhadresh. To hear Shukadev Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, and all the acharyas speaking to us on a regular basis is a tremendous merit. To worship the deity through prayer, through devotional services, through focusing our consciousness, through utilizing all of our mind and all of our senses and all of our propensities in the service of God. To come to holy places, to become spiritually revived. But of all spiritual practices, especially in this age of Kali, that keep our mind focused on the one supreme cause of all causes, the chanting of God's names is most effective. Kaveradosani Rajan Asti Heka Mahanduna Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Parambraja. In this age of Kali, which is like an ocean of faults, there is one great benediction. Simply by chanting the name of the Lord, one can attain the supreme perfection of liberation. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtana. Therefore, it is the prime benediction for all humanity. Because in any situation, anyone, rich or poor, literate or illiterate, man or woman, old or young, black or white or red or yellow, from the east to the west, to the north or the south, everyone has equal ability and opportunity to take shelter of the Lord's name. Not only anyone, but at any place and in any time. If you wake up in the middle of the night, you may not be able to do puja. In the dark, you cannot read Srimad Bhagavatam. But you can chant the name of the Lord. I know people who are living in strange places where they're being haunted in their sleep, being strangled and choked. Very desperate situation. By these ghostly forces. Realities. So hundreds and hundreds of people we have met in this situation. We've been in such situations. In that situation, we can't just pick up a Srimad Bhagavatam or perform Achman and do offer arti. What to speak of get on August 20 to Vrindavan. In such a situation, there's only one thing. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. And then everything is fine. The sun rises, the darkness is cleansed, is dispelled. This is the power of the Holy Name. Now, what is the philosophy behind the power of the Holy Name that we are reading about today? Because Krishna is the master and the cause of all his energies. He can lift us into the material, spiritual energy. He can lift us out of this material energy because he is non-different. The material energy is nothing but a manifestation of him. The spiritual energy is nothing but a manifestation of him. Everything is nothing but a manifestation of him. Therefore, if we take shelter of Krishna, nothing is impossible. Everything is possible because we are putting our hearts in the protection, under the influence of the supreme love of God. Thank you very much. Is there any questions?
Sometimes we have to work at the same time for doing. Like we have Bhagavatam lecture and at the same time we have Prasad distribution seva. And another part of the question, two of our senior devotee told us a different work to do at the same time. And we can do only one work. And we cannot tell the senior devotee, any one of them, no, we cannot do the one work. And what is supposed to do? The first part of the question, that at the same time we have two work to do, like Bhagavatam lecture and Prasad distribution seva. Another part of the question, the two of our senior devotee told us to do different work at the same time. And we cannot tell the one. We cannot tell one no because we don't have that much of time. What are we supposed to do in the fourth situation?
Take shelter of Krishna. To do Prasad Seva, we should be enthusiastic to do it. If we're not asked to do Prasad Seva, we should be hearing Srimad Bhagavatam class. Some people must volunteer because there are two types of Bhagavats, the book Bhagavat and the person Bhagavat. Yes, Prasad Seva means service to the person Bhagavat. And sitting in Srimad Bhagavatam class means service to the book Bhagavat. So either one is perfect. But if we're not hearing Srimad Bhagavatam class, after some time we will lose our enthusiasm to serve Prasad also. So we should balance the two very nicely. We must hear sufficiently, but then we must also implement the message through our service attitude on a regular basis. And as far as two different authorities asking me to do two different things, as long as they are both engaging you properly in Krishna consciousness, either one is quite perfect. Part of the perfection is either, whichever one you choose, you may be chastised by the other. And that chastisement is part of the process of taking shelter of Krishna.
How do you decide the priority? This is more what we should do this first and this one. Or how we decide the priority that we should do this first and what is the way of deciding the priority?
You could inquire. Inquire from, generally if you inquire from either of those authorities what the other is asking you to do, then there will be an agreement amongst themselves. Unless your two authorities are from two different temples. You should leave it for them to decide. Yes? You can say, I'm happy to do either one, the two of you can decide. Let them decide.
You mentioned about Maharaj Radhanath that he was informed that he had only few moments. In our case, we may not know. So how does one maintain that sense of urgency?
Actually, we do know. It's being told to us every day that there is potential danger at every step. It's part of material nature. That eternally, every living entity within material nature is in a precarious situation. Like a drop of water on a lotus leaf. Any little tilting of the leaf and the water is gone. Yes? Any little tilting of material nature and this little drop of our existence can be gone. Yes? So it is reality. That is why it is important that we hear regularly, so that our awareness is fresh, clear, and alive. And when difficult situations come in our life, we understand that this is actually all for the good. We should thank Krishna and take shelter.